Inside Ag on KTVB is sponsored by the Idaho Farm Bureau Federation, empowering Idaho agriculture.
Budget cuts in Oregon could soon ripple into classrooms and beyond, especially when it comes to career and technical education. Programs like FFA say proposed funding reductions could limit hands-on learning, leadership training, and access for students who rely on those opportunities the most. In today's Inside Ag, we look at what's at stake and why students say this affects their future.
I'm a senior at the Crane Union High School.
I'm a junior at Harper High School.
I go to school at Crane Union High School, and I'm a senior this year.
It's hard to not be in agriculture in some way, but a lot of mine is mostly just kind of with family. And then not until I think my 9th grade year, my freshman year, I was actually involved in FFA, and that's kind of what got me more into the agricultural industry.
We have about 70 acres of cattle and sheep and horses, and we also have chickens. We have pasture, and then we also have another about 50 acres of hay. In the summer, I'm constantly running a tractor. I'm doing that with my father. And then in the winter, I am building barns, building stuff for the sheep and the cattle.
With ag, I started it my freshman year, not really having a background. None of my family has done ag, and I've really enjoyed it. It's helped me grow in so many ways. I've gained so many skills, and I'm just appreciative of that.
For these students, ag education looks different. Some grew up in it. Others found it through the Future Farmers of America group, or FFA, but all of them are gaining skills inside and outside of the classroom, like public speaking, welding, and other trade skills. But now the program helping shape those paths could be impacted by proposed state budget cuts in Oregon.
So the impact is huge. It affects every community in our state, truly.
There are 176 ag instructors and more than 15,000 FFA members across the state. Since 2019, Oregon has helped fund FFA through the Department of Education, covering student dues, leadership programs, classroom support, and additional pay for the teachers.
We've been extremely successful in removing barriers for participation for students. And the goal of the funds that come from the state is really to take those historically underserved students, so students from rural communities who are financially challenged, those that might be part of a minority group, and give them the opportunity to participate in FFA.
Now, a recommendation to cut about $1.1 million for programs like FFA and career and technical education courses could change that. Educators say without that funding, participation could shrink and opportunities could disappear.
When you start looking at cutting these budgets, that's the type of things that maybe you don't think about, but they could definitely be cut. And in order to continue them, we would probably have to put that burden back on the students and their parents in order to pay for that transportation costs and that stuff to get there. And we're on this side of the state, we're historically under the poverty level. And so you're definitely going to eliminate a certain cross section of your students that maybe just couldn't afford it.
Sherman says programs like FFA do more than teach agriculture. They help prepare students for the workforce, especially at a time when farming and trade industries are struggling to find skilled workers.
We have high demand kids. I mean, I can't tell you how many times that I've been told that as soon as an employer gets an application that says FFA on it, they immediately take a double look at that resume because they know the skills that we're teaching these kids.
The proposed cuts aren't final. Lawmakers will decide in the coming weeks, but students say what's being debated is bigger than the budget line.
Farmers are going to be then even harder to find, and we're not going to be able to have as many people. I mean, world hunger is a huge thing that's still happening. We want to be able to stop that. It's just going to get worse.
We are agriculture, and we are the future. So I'm a little worried if we didn't have that aspect of what agriculture was and what it does to us, that we'll lose a part of who we are.
If you want a strong Oregon, you have to invest in the students.
The Oregon Agriculture Teachers Association sent a letter and is calling on lawmakers to continue funding that $1.1 million in grant funding that supports programs like these. So, again, evolving.
Yes, well, and I know you were involved when you were younger too. I mean, these organizations do so much in their communities.
Yeah, fun fact, I was in FFA and you serve in your community a lot. I served on the agriculture issues, and you would go tell these issues to a ton of people all across the state. Yeah. We'd go to Jackson Hole. We were in Moscow. We went everywhere.
So cool.
It helps the community too.
Yeah, it does. Okay, Hunter, thank you.